Hello, civilians, it is me, Pawn Ranger, and I am recording this before I go out to SoCal Idol Fest. So I had just finished the hardest month of performing that I've ever done. So excuse the way that I look. I absolutely destroyed my hand after Otakon. I am okay. It is just a little bruised. I might have to switch my mic hand for future events, but it is what it is. I have just finished the hardest month of performing that I have ever done. 3 cons in 3 weeks, back to back. It was Metrocon in Florida, Tekko, and then Otakon. Oh my god. So I'm filming this at 2 in the morning. I can't read given the clock on my my computer. And I am so sorry if I look very tired and very insane. I've just cut my hair fresh for SoCal Idol Fest. I need to clean up my packing before I head out. So we'll start with Metrocon. I lied and said that I would record my coverage for this in the Tekko hotel room, but I was just wiped when I got there. So Metrocon was my first time performing in Florida in like 2 years. Last time I performed in Florida was in 2021, and I did a hallway event at Hall Map 2021, but if you know anything about me and the things that I posted, Hall Mat 2021 was not a good time for me. So perhaps this is the redemption arc for my experiences in Florida. And it was very good. I performed for Metrofest, and then it was the only thing that I had other than like the meet and greet afterwards, so I was able to enjoy the convention and check out Tampa with all my friends, and it was very fun. I'm trying to think. The only thing I'd say that wasn't great about it was that people were discouraged from doing Wotage. So if you know anything about Oire Mase as a song, I'll put some footage here of what like the crowds actually look like for this. Like there's a lot of foodie copy involved. I put my mix guide up. It was a whole thing. And some people had told me afterwards that they were discouraged from doing the foodie copy, even like sitting down, and were discouraged from like even standing in the room and mixing and cracking UOs from their seat. Hey, this is a time I want to take, because like I encourage these at my shows. So this is appropriate behavior at idol events. It is completely up to the performer whether or not they actually want this to take place during their set. So it is more of like a performer's discretion type thing. Of course, the venue can be like, no, these specific things, but generally speaking, for idol showcases, as long as like the venue doesn't get damaged, other people aren't hurt, people aren't like running and jumping like over the stage and like disrupting the performer, it should be okay. But call and mix isn't a disruptive thing. I don't know, I feel very strongly about it, mainly because I don't know, people's ability to enjoy my performance was impacted by being discouraged by like con staff to not mix, not pop UOs, not do stuff. Even though I very clearly had a mix guide on the thing, it is not the fault of the event organizers or anything like that, but it is something I would like to see next time I show up to Florida, to see more acceptance of Woda and Wotage and idol cultures type stuff like that. Alright, so next is Tekko. So I did a lot of stuff at Tekko. I did the a guest performance at the dance competition. Then I did a in convention talk show called Tekko Today Live, and then after that I did the idol showcase at Stage Uzume. So first off, like at the time, I do want to say that a lot of going into Tekko, I had a lot of anxiety because I was like supposed to represent like the overseas idol community in a lot of aspects. And at the time, this was like while people were bullying Sorbet and while people were like doing the stupid K-poppy versus J-pop fandom war bullshit because of that. And I was very nervous because I was like, I'm already very tired from Metrocon. And I don't know how much I would be able to take if someone was mean to me in person. Because like with this online stuff, it's always on, it stays online. It doesn't mean that it's less real and less harmful, but it doesn't leak out into like real life because people don't really want to say those things to a real life person if they have to look them in the eye and say it. It's like this type of bullying is something that people do online because they think they can get away with it. And it was just, that's the environment I was coming into Tekko with. So I was a guest performer for the dance competition, which is very K-pop heavy, and I think I did really good. I was having trouble with my hat. It was filmed, so I don't know when I'm getting that footage back, but we'll find out soon. I'm trying to think what else about this performance. Yeah, it's a very K-pop centric space, which seems like too lofty a language to describe a dance competition with, but it's like, I was concerned that people would look at me and think I was cringe for being part of the overseas idol community. And normally I am cringe, but I am free. I don't really care, but it's still like, it's just like, I'm just an anxious person and I care at least a little bit about what other people think of me secretly deep down. But I'm glad to report that my fears were completely unfounded and that, yes, it is true, all of the bullshit online that people think they can say because they're hiding behind like their handle and stuff. It's just bullshit that they say because they can get away with it, and it very rarely shows up to your face. So at this performance, I also performed UFO by Playing Stars, which is very funny to me. If you know, you know. And then the day after, I did Tekko Today Live, which is like an in-convention talk show type thing. So like they have like guests from the convention come on and they have them talk about what they're doing at the convention. Or like they, like the day that I went on, they had designer, like the fashion designer guest, like Puvethel, come on and talk a bit about like what they're doing at the convention, their design stuff. So I was invited to come on and talk a bit about like the overseas idol community and promote the Idol Fest happening at Stage Uzume and talk a little bit about myself and my tour. And this is my first experience as a member of the idol community where I've had to like represent in a very like straightforward way. Like I'm an admin for the International Idol Network. I run stuff back at home for Tri-State Idol Union. I am involved with like Idol Fest as staff. I'm involved in so many of these like community infrastructure type things that I was like, okay, I'm equipped to talk, but I've never felt that I was like a good representative for the community. But I knew what I wanted to say going on, where I was like, I wanted to talk about like the music scene aspects of the overseas idol community, because like all of the idol culture stuff, I don't think it's secondary. I think it's a very important part of the overseas idol community, but I do think it is something that like maybe a little bit harder to get if someone isn't already like an idol fan. But people understand like independent music scene type stuff, and like they understand that, so I can lead in with that and then talk about like Woodagay and other idol culture aspects that make the scene unique. And I think it went over very well. Laughing Mecca, if you're seeing this, hello, thank you. Also, it was very easy for me to make fast friends with the people running Tekko Today Live because we were all fans of Gundam. Me and the host are both like Gunpla customizer and builders, so just there's that connection there. And if you found out about the overseas idol community, or you learned about the overseas idol community at Tekko, or because you came and watched me on Tekko Today Live that morning, hello, welcome. I hope you're enjoying your stay, and I hope you really enjoyed the stuff at Stage Uzume. And then later that day, I did my Tekko Idol Fest Idol Showcase stuff, and it was very fun. I always love when audiences do Wotoge, they do call-in mix. As I said before during like Metrocon, I think I'm falling even deeper and deeper in love with that type of appreciation. And even people that weren't super well versed in like call-in mix still pulled up my call-in mix guide and still tried to follow along with the people that knew what they were doing, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for everyone that showed up to Tekko. And then after that, I went to Otakon and worked my ass off. So I did opening ceremonies, I did my show on Friday, and then I worked my ass off that weekend being a gopher. So I took a lot of photography, and I took a lot of photography that weekend for Annie Beat and for Cosplay List and for Now Presenting, and I got to hang out with some people. I did stuff with Yabaidoru that weekend, and it was probably the best audience I've ever had so far. I'm so sorry to everyone that showed up to my shows before. This is peak. This is it. I will never beat this unless people are really, really into it at SoCal Idol Fest and at Anime Magic. Unless people are into, but I don't think it'll beat it, because there were some things that made this show like, there was a bit more leeway than the shows that I normally did, because it was a solo live and also a late night event. So I will do opening ceremonies first. I did opening ceremonies with Cheery Girls and Phoebe, and they were amazing. I love them so much. And I performed Yushao Tanjo from Gao Gaigar, and I was really nervous that people wouldn't be like super into it, because like that people look at like idol stuff and they're like, oh, they just go, oh, isn't it supposed to be cute? It can be, but sometimes you can, I can have little A-Mecha music as a treat. And it was very fun. It went over very well. Shout out to the MC wearing the Sympho Gear outfit. The Hoppy. I can't speak. And then I did photography that weekend afterwards. And then I did my tour date show, which was a solo stage of just me for a whole hour at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and I had a really amazing turnout. I was told that like 50 people showed up to start, and then I ended the night with over 70 to 80 people, which is insane considering like the time slot, and also I'm not a big name person. So, oh my god, it's really amazing. And because it was a late night show, I was able to be a bit looser with like my content. People could OMMC for UFO. If you know, you know. I could say fuck on stage with no repercussions. People were allowed to, they had the space to do like wodoge. When I would say like wodoge, I mean like not the general term. I mean like silent dance wodoge. People had the space to do that. People were cracking UOs left and right. And I had the whole room to myself to command as I please. And it was so fun. People were doing lifts, which was a big bucket list item for me as an idol, because I was doing a lot of convention sanctioned idol showcases. And I apologize that lifting is now banned at Otakon. I shouldn't say banned. It's not banned, like, but it's frowned upon now. which means that you shouldn't do it anymore. But like, man, that is literally the best show that I've ever fucking done. Ever in my whole idol career. During some highlights include during Love.exe, I had an instruction that said dump as many UOs out as possible, like crack as many UOs as possible, and a bunch of Voda just fucking dumped a bag of UOs on the ground and started cracking, and they cracked like 2 bags of UOs. Or like a bag and a half or something like that. And people cracked more, but this was just like one set of people. And at the end of the night, I had people put everything up on stage, so it was easier to clean up for the staff afterwards, because they had to clean up the room and shut it down for the night after I was done. And I walked off with like 60, a bouquet of 60 UOs, but that doesn't count like the ones people cracked independently of that set of Voda, and like the ones that people threw in the garbage because they weren't near the stage. So this comes to the part of what did I do afterwards? So right now I'm in the process of prepping for SoCal Idol Fest. I'm a bit nervous. I've never been to Southern California before. In general, like not even just as like a performer, and I've never performed there. I mean, like I've never performed there. I've never stepped foot in there. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to go to Asayoru's Maid Cafe. And I'm very excited to see some friends that I have only talked to on the internet. I'm very excited to see Phoebe again. And yeah. So what did I learn from these experiences? One, it's that I need to stop being so scared about what other people think of me. I know it's going to be a hard habit to die down, but I need to stop thinking like that. My other thing that I learned is that is that I should enjoy my time at events more. Like, when I'm off the clock, I can do whatever I want, and I don't have to be constantly in work mode while I'm at a convention. And then the next one is that I need to slow the fuck down, which I think every single video diary has ended with I need to slow the fuck down. And my last my last lesson learned is shit that happens on the internet usually only stays on the internet. So I have absolutely destroyed my hand post Oda. I like rammed it into a wall, and I don't know if it's fractured or if it's like soft tissue, but it hurts, and I will be using it as like my mic hand because I can't be doing this shit with that. So I'm gonna end this video here. My hand will get better and I will see you guys in the next one after I'm done with SoCal Idol Fest. So, the hardest month ever performing, but I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。